going on, Gator fans? So this Saturday, in a couple of days, Florida will be hosting the Tennessee Volunteers for what will be the last time for about a good 3 or 4 year stretch because of the SEC's 3-6-6 model scheduling format. The Tennessee Volunteers won't be back in Gainesville until 2029, and that's important for Florida fans to know because Florida currently at the moment has a 20-year winning streak over the Tennessee Vols in the Swamp. The Vols have not won a game in Gainesville since 2003. And throughout all the bad coaching hires Florida has had with Will Muschamp and Billy Napier and Jim McElwain and the collapse of the Dan Mullen era, beating Tennessee was always something Florida fans could fall back on. You know, Will Muschamp went undefeated against Tennessee. Dan Mullen went undefeated against Tennessee. Jim McElwain went 2-1 against Tennessee. Billy Napier, of course, not so much, went 1-2 against the Vols. But that one victory he did get was in the Swamp, so it wasn't as if he screwed that part up. And thankfully, he's been removed, so I don't think he'll have the potential of screwing this part up as well. Tennessee has traded Nico Iamaleava to UCLA for their quarterback Joey Aguilar, who transferred to them out of Appalachian State. And it's safe to say that Tennessee won that trade, in essence, by flying colors. Joey Aguilar has led the Tennessee Vols to the #1 scoring offense in the SEC. And they have been superb on that side of the ball all year. They run the ball effectively. They have good receivers. They play offense really, really good. Defensively, like most of the years under Josh Heupel, they have not been good. 2021, they had bad defense. 2022, they had bad defense. 2023, they had bad defense. They were much better defensively in 2024, but 2025, they've fallen right back to the usual. And Florida will have a chance in this game because of that, because Tennessee does not defend opposing offense as well. They gave up 34 points to Kentucky, gave up 36 to Oklahoma, gave up 38 to Alabama, gave up over 40 to Georgia. So all around, their defensive play has not been good all year. Even Arkansas went on the road and put up over 30 points on Tennessee's defense. And I think, and this will be probably the most, well, I probably shouldn't say the most. I'll say this is the second most favorable defense DJ Liveway will have to finish the year, because next week is Florida State. But we'll talk about that when the game comes. Defensively, Tennessee is not good whatsoever. They could have some help back. There was a linebacker. I brain farted on his name, and I just looked him up. But he's their inside linebacker, and he leads them in tackles. And he's been out apparently due to toe injury, according to the Tennessee injury reports. And he could potentially be back for the Vols Saturday. I don't know if that'll be true or not, but we'll see. And Arion Carter, that's his name, sorry. Arion Carter has been out for the Tennessee Vols, and he could potentially be back this week, this Saturday. The game will be, like I said, in Gainesville. It will be on ABC at 7:30 p.m. It should be a very high contested, high offensive scoring game. The offense under Billy Gonzalez the last 3 games has looked better than it did under Billy Napier, outside of maybe the Texas game and the LIU game. But then again, that was LIU, so we don't really count that. Outside of the Texas game, the offense under Billy Napier was just sporadic and up and down, and not enough to compete in today's SEC. Outside of Texas, Billy Napier's offense didn't perform that well, and under Billy Gonzalez, they haven't scored more than the 29 points that Florida did against Texas. But you can at least see the improvement compared to before. If Florida had that offense against USF, LSU, and maybe Miami, I think you could be potentially looking at 2 or 3 more victories for the Florida unit. And they just looked better. Billy Gonzalez has done a better job of managing the clock in situations compared to Billy Napier. I think the offense and the spread offense and having defenses stretched out so you can put your playmakers in space has been beneficial to DJ, not only throwing the ball but also in running the ball, because he looks like he's running with the football much better than he did at the beginning of the season. Not really a shifty guy sideline to sideline, but if you're talking about running downhill north and south, he gets the job done. He actually got his first rushing touchdown against Ole Miss last Saturday. Also, I think Jaden Ball has benefited from that, not only in the running game, but also in the receiving game. He's also starting to get more touches as a receiving back out of the backfield. And you're starting to see other guys, even with all the injuries Florida's had at the wide receiver position, start to, get more touches. J. Michael Sturdivant's getting the ball more. T.J. Abrams is getting the ball more. Vernell Brown III is probable for this game, and it looks like he is leaning towards him coming back. On the defensive side of the ball for Florida, Caleb Banks will be making his first return to the game since the LSU matchup. He had missed the first 2 games and had hurt because he had a foot injury, and then he re-aggravated it in the LSU game, and he's been out ever since, and it looks like he's fully healthy to go. So having Big 88, because I know he wants to finish his time at Florida on a better note and hopefully walk away with 2 more wins. I'm real sad for him that the season went to waste and that Florida couldn't, put up a better season for him and a lot of the other seniors that were there, like Tyreek Sapp and George Gums and those guys, and Austin Barber and Jake Slaughter, because they really deserved that. The seniors for this Florida team deserved better than what they got. And it's a shame that we wasted those guys' season and a season for the fans as well, because this was a very talented Florida roster. And you just don't know what the future holds. Hopefully it includes Lane Kiffin, but we'll see. It's going to be a very tight and contested game. The Tennessee-Florida game was the rivalry was the biggest rivalry in the SEC during the 1990s, even bigger than the Iron Bowl in my opinion, because usually the teams that won that game not only went on to win the SEC, but they typically went on to compete for national championships in Orange Bowl games and Sugar Bowl games. And sadly, the rivalry has gone away. That's due to both Tennessee and Florida falling off. Tennessee has kind of climbed themselves back up out of the gutter. Florida has not. And this is just this used to be one of the biggest rivalries in the SEC, and it sadly has lost its luster. And what's also made it lose its luster is the fact that the SEC chose to have Florida play South Carolina and Kentucky along with Georgia instead of having Florida paired up with Tennessee, and they chose Tennessee against Kentucky and Vanderbilt over Florida, which makes no sense to me. I mean, yeah, I get it. There's a century of history between the Vols with the Commodores and the Wildcats, but there's no way a Tennessee fan gets up for those games to the way that they get up for the Florida games. I just don't see that. Even when some of the bad Florida teams, you can always bet that when Florida was on the road in Knoxville, that the Tennessee fans would just be up howling at the moon just at midnight just to get to the stadium and watch Tennessee battle Florida. But that's the SEC's call. I obviously didn't agree with that at all. Florida and Tennessee should be an annual matchup every single year. But hey, that's the decision that they made. So, and by the way, the SEC, if you're gonna make Florida and Tennessee a semi-annual game, fine, or at least over these next 4 years, can you at least put Florida and Tennessee back on third Saturday in September? Like, it's okay that Tennessee has another opponent on the third Saturday of a month besides, Alabama. Like, it's fine with that. But the SEC will probably make Florida play Texas A&M on the third Saturday in September before Tennessee again. It just doesn't make any sense to me why they don't really take that rivalry seriously as they used to. But anyways, that's the preview and the breakdown for this game. Florida will be hosting Tennessee. Florida's already bowl eligible. They have nothing left to play for. They have nothing to play for outside of just simply beating 2 rivals to end the season. And for Tennessee's sake, 3 losses, more than likely out of the playoff hunt. But at the very least, they have a chance to break the losing streak in Gainesville. So it's something to play for both of these teams, and certainly a lot of bragging rights for Tennessee for Tennessee or Florida fans, because if Florida wins, Tennessee won't be back in the swamp until 2029. So it would be a very important game for Florida to win. But with the way this season is going, I'm not gonna put too much hope into Florida, because they seem to find a way to disappoint when the chips are down at the most crucial times. But hey, we'll see. Go Gators, and beat the Vols.